Hi team, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we'll discuss here where we left in our last video, Databricks Delta Lake interview. So let's discuss more deeper into the Delta Lake properties. So what are the properties Delta Lake have? So let understand the detail on this. So we'll discuss here acid compliance, schema evaluation, time travel, batch and stream support. So the acid properties, so we understand very brief about the previous our video, what is the acid, but let's understand the each part of this, like what is A means, what is C means, what is I means, and what is D means. So on how it will be help in our real, we'll take the some of the real example I will understand here. So A is the atomicity, ensure the data transaction are treated as a single unit, either all the changes within the transaction are committed or none. This prevent inconsistency data state, like suppose whatever the transaction we are doing, it have to be commit or it have to be rollback. So there is no like intermediate transaction failure. It is not possible or it will not support. So consistency. So guarantee that the data remain in the valid state after the transaction complete. For example, if balance transfer transaction is incomplete, the system ensure that the fund are not deducted from the source account without being credited to the destination account. As we have seen the many times in the real world example, so once we transfer amount from one account to the another, sometime the amount will get deducted from our account and it will not reach to the destination. So it will fail or will not understand or will clueless what is happening. So but in this property it will not happen. If the amount is deducted from your account or the source account, have to be credited to the destination account. So it is no intermediate failure. So it will give the guaranteed that. And the same example, like suppose if you are withdrawing the amount from the ATM, if you are receive the money, then only the amount will get deducted from your account, else it will not. So if there is no money, so account will not be like deducted. So like this, it will give that the facility in this property. The isolation, ensure that concurrent transactions do not interfere with each other. Each transaction operate as if it is where only one execution in the system. If there are the parallel transaction is happening, so it will not disturb or it will not like affect to each other. So there is the facilities available. Durability. Once the transaction is committed, its changes are persist and will not be lost, even if it is the event of the system failure. If there is any server loss or the server issue, anything is happen, the transaction have to be commit or have to be rollback. So there is no intermediate failure will not happen in this acid property. So let's discuss the next part. So it may be asked like the as we say, like Delta Lake will support the schema evaluation. So what is the schema evaluation? So you'll understand here. So schema evaluation is the automatic the management. Delta Lake automatically handle the schema changes such as adding or removing the column or modifying the data type. This eliminates the need of manual schema management and reduce the risk of the data corruption. As we see like many time in the real world in our project, we have to add some column based on the need, we have to be delete some column, we have to change the data type of the column based on the availability of the data or like the changes in the data, how the data it is coming or the flowing. So the whatever the changes we are doing, so that automatically will get managed. So there is no manual schema management is required in this phase. And the next step is like backward compatibility. Delta Lake ensure that older data can be still be readable even after schema changes. That mean like suppose if you have did the some changes in the column, like suppose if you have added one column or deleted the column, so the still that the older column you can read and that the facilities available here. This allow for the seamless data evaluation without breaking the existing application. Means like suppose in our reporting side, 5 columns are the 3 columns we are using and 1 column is deleted. So 2 columns or the 4 columns is only be available, and if that column is not if we deleted and if it is not and we are using in the reporting side, report will get break that the chances. So but that's the application without breaking that the capability Delta Lake will provide. So still we can read that data and it is be available. So let's discuss the next property what have it Delta Lake. So Delta Lake will support the time travel. So what is the time travel? As we like the versioning of the data. So the as the whatever the data we are processing, it may be the batch, history, full load, or the incremental load. So every data will maintain the version. So that's the versioning time travel Delta Lake will support. So that's the capability do not have in our traditional lake. So versioning Delta Lake maintain the history of the each of the data, allowing user to revert to previous version if necessity. This particularly useful for the data recovery, auditing, and experimentation. Like suppose if you lost some point of this from the some point data, and if you want to recover, the Delta Lake will support that. And if you want to audit something, what's happening in the previous data when it is flown, so that also capability hold or have in the Delta Lake. So time-based query. So like suppose user want to be from the specific time like month, year or the day or the quarter, want to be extract the data. So from that specific time, the user can extract the data, and that's the capability have in the Delta Lake. That's we call the time travel. So let's jump into the next property. What's have with the Delta Lake? So batch and the stream support. Delta Lake will support both batch type of the data load and the streaming also. So, and for this, there is no separate pipeline it's required. It will accumulate in the single pipeline. So Delta Lake provide the unified platform, both batch and the stream workload, eliminating the need of the separate data processing or the pipeline. Efficient processing. Delta Lake is optimized for both batch and the stream workload, ensuring efficient data processing and analysis, real-time insight. So streaming data can be processed in the real time, enabling the organization to make the timely decision based on the latest data. As we know, like many times based on the project or the business need, we have to be process the batch. Batch it is like the yearly, hourly, or the daily load. So based on our the understanding or the based on the need, and sometimes the data have to be real time process like the ATM transaction or the whatever the online transaction or the point of sale, whatever happening in the store. So like this data, so the stream like the real time, the business want to understand the KPIs, so that type of the support also Delta Lake will help. So let's conclude here. So understand the summary, what we discuss, what we learn about this topic here in the Delta Lake properties. The Delta Lake key differences provide as the robust and the flexible data storage solution that address the challenges of the traditional data lake. So traditional data lake, so these are the capability do not have, and that's the Delta Lake will fulfill the gap by ensuring the data integrity, managing the schema evaluation, enabling the time travel, and support both batch and the stream workload. Delta Lake empower organization to efficient store, manage, and organize and analyze that data so for their KPI and their need. Thank you. Let's catch into the next video. Thank you, team. Bye.